I've got Royce Robinson, Stephanie Rogers with me with Lexar.
Good.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, I should say
Thank you for being here.
thank you for welcoming me to your space.
We met anytime.
The home office? No, I wouldn't say home.
For Lewiston and surrounding areas. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there a home HUD office? Or it's kind of everyone has their own.
We're regionally based, so for Lewiston to Grangeville, Stoughton, this is it.
I think we go over as far as Pomeroy, right?
Yeah, this office.
Yeah.
Idaho side.
Yeah. Grangeville. Is that right?
We just found out today a customer was in here, and it's about another 45 minutes past Grangeville, so we're going there to smoke.
I think.
Dare I say Whitebird?
Wiper, Riggins.
No, not that far. No, this was he sent me a pin, and it was in the middle of a mountain range.
Oh.
And I said, let's go build it.
Let's do it.
So we're going to do
There's
it.
no limit.
A beautiful shome.
Yeah, absolutely.
How would they call it now?
A shome, or yeah.
The Garage Mahal is still up.
Raj Mahal. I like that. Clever.
Let's see. Shows.
Yes.
Barnuminium. Well, Royce, I feel like, starting with some of the questions with you, being the owner, CEO, what's your title?
Managing partner. I have a partner. Yeah, he avoids screen time as much as he can. So he's back in our Liberty Lake office right now, and he sent me down. So
Is he like back end? Does he like that kind of?
Steve, no. Well, so I take care of the sales, the front end. So you can imagine like these relationships with homeowners, lenders. But he is more on the trade side of everything.
Got it.
Yeah, that tough and gruff. And I say that in the best way possible. But yeah, those are just his guys.
You didn't need any permission.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's like, great, you will be on the screen all day, every day. I'm going to go hang out with the plumber. That's what he does.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When did the business of Lexar become, year-wise?
Oh, that's, you got to go back a little bit. So Lexar Homes is a franchise.
Okay.
So way back in the day, there was Highline Homes. Highline is the original granddaddy of them all of the on your lot custom homes. So it's $30 a square foot, if you can imagine. So we're taking it way back. And then there's Highline and Adair. And so the owners of Lexar, they were part of both of those different corporations. And back in 2007, they said, hey, these are really cool business models, but let's change it a little bit and make it a franchise. And what that really opened the door to was that local ownership, local subcontractors, local buying power, and just being part of the community. Here we are here. This is ours. So that was in 2007. Steve, my partner, he started in 2012. I'm messing that up, I'm sure. I started in 2018.
Interesting.
And then in 22, after COVID, the previous owners of the Eastern Washington, Northern Idaho region said, we're done, as everyone can imagine. Price increases all the time, the heartache going with that. And having called people right before they were starting saying, hey, guess what? Your house has gone up $20,000. And
Is that just material?
well, yeah, I mean, the whole thing, everything. I mean, just COVID. And we all use COVID as a cop-out. Yeah. I mean, we saw lumber prices go from, a lumber package for a house went from $15,000, $20,000 all the way to $55,000 overnight. And so they had enough of the heartbreak. And
I feel like labor was kind of hard to find.
labor was hard.
Yeah.
Didn't help that we were all shut down. Couldn't even show up on jobs legally in Washington. So that was fun. Yeah, it was at we started a little black market for job labor. So they'd show up at night. How to get this done? But yeah, so after in 22, Steve and I had acquired it, and then from there, we were only going for 6-8 months, and we had an office at the time in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and we had wanted to explore further into North Idaho.
Simply.
Yes. Funny thing about Idaho and Washington, they can be sister cities, but Idaho people don't like buying from Washington. I get it.
No, they don't.
So that's why we had that Coeur d'Alene office. It was only 20 minutes away.
Right.
And then we're like, why can't we crack that North Idaho market? Well, it's because Bonner's Ferry Sandpoint people think people in Coeur d'Alene were too sissy, too yuppie. So like, I'll see you, I'll raise you, office there. But then right at that exact same time, we get a phone call from Stephanie down here in Lewiston, and we had said, hey, Lewiston, that's going to be on our market or radar in the next 5 years or so, but we could wait 5 years till we're ready to open up this market and then try and find somebody who's going to bring us down here one way or another. Or we just say, hey, Steph, if you're willing to go through the growing pains with us. And
So you put your foot through the door then.
Unknowingly at first.
Not what you thought you'd sign up for.
No, it was very organic. It was, I was selling real estate, I was selling land, and our local builders were so far out, nobody could get to it, and it was pretty expensive, outside of what most people could afford. And I'm from a family of builders, so I'm going to support them all day long, but I would call my brother, hey, it's like, I can't get to it for 2 years. And so I started reaching outside of the area, whether Boise, Walla Walla, Spokane. And I ended up in a meeting with Royce the following day after I called, and Kate, one of our sales agents. And yeah, pretty soon I was helping them find space. And then I think Royce and I were just sitting there one day, and I was like, am I opening the office for you? He's like, well, you helped us find it. You designed it. Yep, you are. Okay, perfect.
yeah, this office that we're in, this is all brainchild of Steph. She's like, hey, here's all the colors. Oh, fantastic. Like, while you're picking that out here, would you like to make a total career change?
Okay.
Please come on board. It's worked out really well.
Wild though, for that to start this for you.
Yeah.
And you've been in real estate for
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like it's been 10.
It's been crazy because I had both of my kids during that time. And so, and COVID during that time. So yes and no, time flies.
In the moment, it's feel like it doesn't take. It's like, oh, this is dragging. But then you look back and it's like a blink.
For sure.
For some of my stuff, just in the business I've been in since 22. That's when I finally was licensed, and of course, it was the same month that everything race. That was my same month that happened. So, well, this is a love round.
What a blessing.
Yeah, you bet.
That's awesome. I did a little digging. I wouldn't say a ton of research on you, but Rolls Royce 115 at Gmail popped up.
Wow.
I bet you don't know.
You had access to, my gosh. That's the 12-year-old email that just keeps on giving. And it's still the active one.
You're gonna laugh. I just was trying to do this whole thing on my phone. It's been on my to-do list.
Okay.
Put my personal email, calendar, and my work calendar all together, okay?
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I did something and I deleted my whole personal calendar.
Oh, man.
And apparently I had it tied to my old college EDU email that I had never used since. Oh, yeah. It was bad.
Yeah. Calling the university. Hey, guys. So, it's been a minute.
Listen, years. I need it back.
Yeah.
No, but in the research, I was like, oh, yeah, Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce. You got to be known for something.
I was at LinkedIn, your old LinkedIn.
Oh, man.
Must have been.
That probably was. Yeah. So, Rolls Royce, naturally, 115, the little dirt bike number. And
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
back when we were
Still don't use it.
so
That email, do you use?
I use it all the time. Absolutely. Yeah, my friends have that one, so I guess everyone now has that. But
We're gonna bleep through that.
yeah, we're going right through the Lexar Homes one. No, it's all good. And them.
LinkedIn. Boise. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Spokane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Spokane. So I started Spokane, graduated through high school, left. Took a year and a half mission trip down into Brazil.
Oh, wow.
Then ended up in Rexburg, Idaho. So that's.
Did you go to college yet?
I went down, yeah, BYU, Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So Rexburg, kind of like Lewiston. You're basically living outside all day, every day, because it's that small town.
Yeah.
you need something to do.
Yeah. Dirt biking?
Lots of dirt biking, lots of skipping class. It was amazing. The Tetons, everything else in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there, ended up down in Salt Lake for a while, traveled for a while, and then back to Spokane.
And that's home.
But it's home, yeah, absolutely. So we're having a lot of fun there. Met my wife down in Utah, and yeah, we figured let's find a smaller town to start raising kids. She had finished her master's up down there, and said we need to get back, get out of there.
Yeah.
And we certainly enjoyed it. A lot of fun outdoor activity, a lot of fun stuff to do out there. But we're ready to get back to have a little bit of a family unit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, in your career path, I mean, asking when you wanted to be like when you were really young, maybe that's not the question to ask, but is this something that you pictured yourself being in?
That's from that point. Well, you keep giving all the loaded questions. I am so ready for you to have the center hot seat. No. No.
Right now.
So believe it or not, I have a degree in computer science. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to be the next Steve Jobs. I'm going to do that. So I dual majored computer science and business operations. Loved it. Had a lot of fun. I was working for Adobe in Salt Lake is what I was doing. And
Writing code.
yeah, I was stuck in a cubicle having a ball. Smelled like a lot of Hot Pockets and weird life choices. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. When I was traveling, I was building websites for people living out of a backpack. Did that for a little over 6 months. And then finally was like, how do I get back to human interaction? And not to say that I just hadn't found that blend yet. I was still at the entry level of it all. Back in high school, I had done framing, and for about a year and a half, I had done commercial roofing. Really enjoyed it. So through a weird chain of events, ended up working for a hardwood lumber supplier. Showed up one day and like, hey, what do you know about hardwood? Comes out of the ground. And they're like, well, the company is in the red, so you can't mess it up. Do you want a shot? You have a degree in business operations, give it a shot. And I absolutely loved it. Had a great time.
Really?
Did that in Salt Lake for a different company. And when we moved back to Spokane, they had a office up there. So I'd been with them for quite a few years, and my wife and I were expecting. She was expecting, I was there, and was like, let's move to the Spokane, start raising our kids. Had done that for a little bit and was really enjoying it. But 6 months, 8 months into my son being born, I'm never here, never home, leaving, showing up at work 7, leaving at 7. And so that kind of transitioned to, gotta find something else. So we had supplied to Huntwood Cabinetry, we had supplied to your Great Floors, worked down the supply chain. Lexar Homes had purchased from those guys. And so I heard about them, and through some other family connections, turns out, again, family friend had done the books for them. So, can you give me an interview? And they're like, hey, we have a spot in sales. I'm like, sweet. Going computer science, hardwood lumber, let's go.
Wide range with that guy.
Yeah, humans. Well, let's go talk to people. And I loved it. I came in, I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about selling a house. I didn't come from that real estate background. None of my family had done that. But it was something I really sunk my teeth into. It was really, really fun. People coming in saying, hey, I want to build a house. How do I do this? I'm like, I don't know, but we're going to figure it out. But no, we got a great team. That was the really cool thing with Lexar was that they are part of a big franchise organization. So there's a lot of know-how. So I gotten hired on in Spokane. There was 2 sales consultants working there at the time, so they trained me. I've gone shipped over to Seattle to meet with some of our offices over there, some guys in Centralia, some guys in Yakima. So really cool support group. And so within 3-6 months, I was like, I got this. I love it. And kind of really excelled and found out I was good at it. And
What skill and just didn't know it. From the complete opposite, I would say, from builders to figuring the little human interaction.
right.
Hilarious.
And now I get to be our company IT guy. It's really, really rewarding. I still get to use it.
I mean, you'll be like, oh, he's fixing a printer.
Yeah.
Or because I have no idea how to deal with that.
So,
I wait for him to come down from 2 hours away. Like, well, this isn't, it's good. They might have done.
You know, you make your own website.
No. So part of that franchise is, hey, they get to take care of that. Yeah, I get to have a lot of input into it and have a lot of fun with it.
I would say you would want a little bit with your input.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't have to do it anymore, which is really nice. It was really fun living in a backpack and building a website for somebody, and like, cool, I got paid. I can survive for another week or two, but no, I don't want to do it again.
From point A to point B, where you're at now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So now we're building houses, and again, that was where Steve kind of came in. Steve had been the operations, the construction background. So when we got together, with how we're going to delegate everything. Hey, Steve, you can build the houses. You can work with the subcontractors. I can help run the business side, and I can sell the houses. So it works out really, really well. Very complementary.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you say that to? It's the theme.
It's the whole theme for the podcast.
Yeah. Well, then, Steph, I mean, your years. You recently, though, just changed brokerages.
I did. So I'm with Woodbridge now. Jacob Davis. It's been phenomenal.
They've been for quite a while, business
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I think they have a place, Pullman and Colfax. So.
And transitioned great.
Oh, yeah. Very supportive.
What's the tie, though, from the real estate to here? Like, do you try to overlap, or how does that work with your...
Good question. No, it's something I'm definitely navigating. So if somebody came in, you and your family came in, and you didn't have land, I could help you find land. Or if you have land, we can help you there too. But as far as the real estate standpoint, we do work with realtors. That's about as far as I will get into it.
On the building side?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say, what is your clientele now? I would nick just you, building versus buying existing. Do you have a percentage?
I refer out quite a bit of pretty much all of my buyers at this point. If I can take a listing and it's somebody I know personally, I'll do that. But I have a full-time job, so I'm needing to navigate that carefully. Yeah,
Well,
I'm only one person.
we've been friends. I've never asked this, just knowing you for the years I have, of like, how do you do it all? How do you delegate both of those hats?
Do I though? Do I?
I'll tell you, Megan.
Yeah, I will. No, what you do, you have to delegate, and it's important for me that our customers are taken care of. So if I can't help them, again, I'll refer them out to another broker or agent. Yeah.
I would think, Royce, you see that this area is way different than all the other offices. How many years behind the times do you think we are?
Well, you're just gonna get me shot out of Louis. I'm sorry. Now come at that.
Oh,
No, it seems like there's a 5-year delay between some of the other markets that we manage versus down here. If I was going to be very honest, it's wild to see the different demographics of just everywhere. And again, when you build the Canadian border down to Grangeville, you're going to see just about everything. When we talk about the type of homes being built in the Spokane market and the Coeur d'Alene market, it's absurd. It's absolutely insane. And I guess to give you an idea with Lexar, so we have like I call it good, better, best product. So that good is, hey, we can help people recognize that home ownership, and here's an affordable home. There's not a lot of changes, not a lot of customization, but we can get you a good, saying, hey, here's a house, and we can help you recognize that. And I think it's really cool. The better being, hey, these are more semi-custom. You can do more things to it, and you can add things, and then we just do a full custom. The only thing left in Coeur d'Alene is the full custom. And it's really too bad, because I grew up in that market, it's south of Spokane, but I consider Coeur d'Alene just as much home as where it is Spokane, and there's just nothing left affordable. It's really too bad. The people I went to school with, everybody else, like, oh, we had to buy here because that's all we could afford. As you further go north up into this Sandpoint and more outlying areas, it seems like it's where Spokane was probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And then down in Lewiston again, it's probably 5 years ago. So there's a lot of growth. I think there's a lot of demand, but it still can be affordable, and that's what's being driven down here is people trying to, again, build something. And I think it's a good blend. I think right now with what Stephanie's been working on, we were talking about this before we started, we have a few of those good homes right now and some of those better, and we're doing a full custom right now. So it's,
Well, you've kind of helped with that range with the full custom, and then in our Founders series too, for that first time home buyer, young family, it'll be a very satisfying build.
I know. I'm so pumped for them. I think just seeing my end of my clients and their affordability,
yeah.
it is a range, but that first time home buyer, it's just the demographic, and they're saying now, like, first time home buyer, I think is in the 40s is the average age now.
Which isn't surprising.
No.
What a sad reality.
The thing is, well, if you think of my parents and their story, or my grandparents, my grandfather was a builder, and he built his first house, I think, when he was 20.
Oh yeah.
So it's just,
At different times, and you hear a lot of that generation say, yeah, but we had 16 to 18% interest. I'm like, you did on a $40,000 house. So it's different in different times for sure.
Well, I think, and I can speak for kind of my vision and my hopes and dreams, and I want this to come off humbly as well. So last year we finished 66 homes, and of that, we try and only do about 10% full custom. That's not who we are. We're a high volume builder, and part of our process with Stephanie and everything, we try and pre-select, as you can see, everything before we get started. And so that means we have a lot of efficiencies, we have a lot of buying power, and then throughout the build, everything goes pretty seamlessly because everything's pre-selected.
It's all oriented. We know it must build. We're going into it. Yep.
You get into that full custom realm. There's a reason when you talk to a lot of those full custom builders, they don't get out of bed for anything less than $400 a square foot, and it's a 12 plus miles build. Lending on those is tricky, or it's just a lot of heartache.
love can change.
Yeah.
In that time.
And for me, they're fun. Don't get me wrong. We have 2 projects that are going right on the Spokane River up in Spokane area that are absolutely gorgeous, and they're multi-million-dollar projects. And again, you sit there and say, hey, that custom walnut stair tread that you want is $500 per tread. And they're like, okay, cool. Like, oh, there's 30 of them.
Nope.
And that's really, really fun, and that's really, really satisfying. But to me, and I always resort back to this, I had a homeowner back in 21, and they came to me and they're like, hey, we've been living in a fifth wheel for 5 years. They had 3 kiddos and 2 dogs. And they're like, we just want a house.
Ready.
And I was like, let's do it. And here's the product we have, here's the house, and here's all this type of stuff that we can do, and we can help them to recognize that. Like, that is probably the most satisfying thing. Again, we love to build, the phrase I like to use is the builder for the masses. Whether it's a detached garage or a shop house, garage mahal, or that multi-million, we can do it. But I try and only keep 10% of our emphasis on that full custom, if you will. And that's your,
Niche wise, more that, what do you want? Was
I think
store. Is there a niche that Lexar has?
energy efficiency, I would say, is our number one. A lot of, I guess, production builders, which you're going to have them, but they go in and it's about how quickly can we build it. And that seemed to be the only thing that was affordable. And so people are able to come in, and again, the family that we're helping, we're building that for $160 a square foot. They're going to have energy efficient home. They're going to have great warranties, and just not coming in with the cheapest products. Like, we're able to come in and you can still choose from amazing products, and we can get a great home built for you, and it's energy efficient. And so back to that, just the way that we go about our building and our attention to building science has been a big one. So just getting that quality product again to the masses. So whether we're building for $140 a square foot in the Founder Series to your full custom, sky's the limit, whatever they want, fine. but there's a good range and you're getting a great product.
Well, and the money. I feel like energy though. Turning off light switches. My husband watches this. My kids. I literally have to follow them and turn off light switches. She lights your own. I do it, but I will come home like one night and all of a sudden my every light in the house is on.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? You cannot. But stuff like that, like people don't think of like leaving the water on when they brush their teeth. You know, those like little tiny things.
Oh yeah.
No, really piggybacking on that, like the goal with Lexar and back before it was cool, back in the 2010s and up to 2020, we would always perform what's known as a HERS rating. Everything in construction is for her, it's not for him. So it's a HERS rating. It's a home energy rating survey, and we come out there and perform this on every single house. And it's just zero means you got an airtight net zero house, and they go up to 200. And for the longest time, I usually swore 150, and you met code. That met code in Washington State and Idaho. You do 200, because Idaho is always a few years behind. And what was really, really satisfying is we would consistently come in around a 50 to a 60. But what that really meant for that homeowner is, hey, we can get you get a home and a mortgage, but what's the variable? It's that efficiency, or yeah, I can build you a really, really expensive house and I can put the latest and greatest HVAC system in, and it's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. But if the rest of the house doesn't complement it well, you don't have good insulation or you don't have good ceiling techniques, you're just throwing good money out.
Exactly.
So it was really a key thing to saying, hey, let's be an energy efficient builder. And to this day, especially in Washington, we're about 20-25% more efficient than what code requires. Idaho, we're closer to 40. And then on top of that, the other part was the high performance. And for that better, best house, I'm proud of it. We have for the most aggressive warranty. Haven't found anybody to meet that.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, we do it all in a house. I don't sit there and say, hey Jenny, let me build you a house, and then when I'm done, guess what? You're gonna call this 1-800 number and it's insurance now. And it actually shows up in my inbox. I get to see those. So anyway, so we're really proud of all that and trying to just again give a customer a good product.
Yeah. Well, not making it feel like an assembly line, or I feel like it's like coming in here. I've seen you in the works with people picking out designs. What is a typical appointment? Like if you have no idea what you want to do, but you have a vision, right? You come in here. What is your steps?
I see a lot of Pinterest boards, first of all, which is great.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing. Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So I will typically focus on the design of the home first. So they will come in with, hey, here's the plan that I like. And 9 times out of 10, we have a plan that is similar enough that we can adjust them and save them so much money on the front end in that drafting engineering, which sidebar, we have all in-house. So you don't have to go to an architect. You don't have to go to an engineer. It's just a few less steps. So we'll find them their plan. Founders, there's fewer changes that you can make to it just because we're trying to streamline that process. And signature designer custom, sky's the limit. So we'll design their home. Once they have that design, we'll go into the pre-construction phase, and I will help them go into our showroom. And from there, they can pick out their fireplace rock, their mantle, their flooring, carpet, paint, the whole 9. So we truly do have all of that. Like if you go into the kitchen right now, you'll see a whole spread. And that was a really fun one. And so we can put the tile and the paint and the floor and the carpet, we can put it all together and just make sure it really flows.
I'm not a visual. I need something in front of me, like a Pinterest picture, to at least get some sort of an idea. Yeah. Or describe something to me. I'm like, I have no idea. But that, seeing it all together in the flow, I think that's your area of expertise too, because you have that already built into your, home buying and home look and style. And you, though, with the trends, do you feel like you try to stay with the trends, or do you like when people are kind of outside the box?
So another good question.
I was to say, where you going?
I was very open to giving my opinion on things, but I really want people to have what they want. So I'm careful while they're building their dream. Perfect, let's do that. But if they ask, hey, are we seeing white cabinets start to phase out? Yes, we are. Let's be honest. Are we seeing, like, where are we seeing this? And then maybe we can still find that bright look for them in another way. And so just trying to make sure that people have what they want, but they will ask, you do have to follow the trends a bit.
Your opinion in that whole, I don't have that eye.
Well, I think that, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I think that's where, with every single office, we do have a designated home consultant. So Stephanie again manages this one. And that was probably her biggest strength when you sit there and say, hey, that home buyer's coming in. Hey, here's our idea, here's what we want, and then being able to transition them to one of our houses obviously saves time and money on the drafting. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but then from there, giving that expertise of, we can open Pandora's box. It is construction. You want to go ahead and explore. The sky is the limit. However, if we can sit there and say, hey, here are your selections, it seems like it's less overwhelming sometimes. Again, there's still that homeowner who's going to go out there and look at every single thing.
Oh, yeah.
But then Stephanie's greatest strength then is, I think, designing these big, beautiful homes and getting people excited about it. Because people don't know what they don't know. They come in and say, I think I want this, I want this. Stephanie has and designed a lot of beautiful concepts with our drafting team. And it's really, really fun to show it off. Like, hey, somebody, Kate up in our Spokane office was working with somebody who wanted a garage mahal. And they were like, here's kind of what we thought. It's like, I think Stephanie's designed one of those. Time out. So, time out. Kate, give me a second. And we were able to afford it. And like, oh, this is it. Isn't it perfect? Because Stephanie had already designed it with somebody else. And so that's really fun being able to share that resource, but the creativity of that, and then being able to help that homeowner come in and here's what we want, here's what we're conceptually thinking of. To me, again, I can look at a set of blueprints all day and say, this is what the house is going to look like. We did a spec house up in north, and I'm like, hey, Steph, will you take out all the selections for me? Because I don't want to do it. And
it was the most fun.
It turned out beautiful. So it helps dramatically to have somewhere like that in your team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and typically, again, going into, we don't get people through our door with a low price and a low countertop. Like, you come in and we have quartz, we have granite, we have LVP, we have all of the quality products that come with your home. And so 9 times out of 10, again, I mean, if you have a full custom and they want marble, okay, that's not going to come standard in the price of your home. You can go pick that out and then we'll work that out. But most people, they can come in and choose from the selections we have, your 40 flooring options, all your carpet options, your cabinets galore, and they can choose from that and they can make it work, and it's all standard in the pricing.
Sure. I like to think when I do like work out different products for people, it's kind of like too, like if there's some people that have really flex with where they can put their money and they're like, I don't know what to do here. Do I put it here? Do I buy points? I am very much like, I can break it down and give them a side by side, but I don't want to give them too much because then it's like, which one is the best?
Yeah.
So I think having this showroom to be able to showcase what you can provide, very custom. You too, the way how many times did you guys walk back and forth that one day with your client?
Yeah.
A lot. Oh yeah.
And I've had customers too say, I'm not good at this, I'm going to need your help. And so I'll say, send me the Pinterest boards, send me what you like. And then I can set up a few options for them and they'll be like, okay, I really like this, but can we switch this out? And just that seems to be really helpful for a lot of people because that process can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten it where it's like you installed something and they come back and go, oh, by the way, I don't like that.
Oh.
Have you ever had that?
Whole kitchen set of cabinets sitting in a...
Oh no. See, like fighting words for me.
It's just, oh, if I change my mind, you know?
You certainly can. Oh, it's just money. Let's go. But yeah, there's a whole set of house cabinets sitting in a storage unit right now. It happens, but I think for the most part, for the process we have, whether they are just working with Steph or any of our home consultants, or if they do want to schedule a time and go meet with one of our reps at our flooring or countertop suppliers, for the most part, they get it right. Yeah. It's the paint color. Paint color is probably the hardest. I think so many times people are like, hey, this looks really good on a little pink splotch, and then they come back later, miss that one. So if anything, it's just paint. But that can either be done.
You're right, Ian.
Yeah.
My hangs it off. Like, in one time of day, it's one color. We go in dusk, different color. That we had. I'm like, what the heck? But no one sees that. Do you?
I don't know. I mean, heard that, but yeah, I don't.
Let's get it for my daughter's take. Just like,
Yeah.
right, the swatch. It's not as
Yeah.
in a whole room setting. You guys do have a lot of digital, though, like layout. You can like write 3D.
Like renderings?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, with the in-house drafting, they will come back to us if we say, hey, like our customers really want to see what the angle and the lines of their house look like from this corner of the room to this corner of the room. And they'll come back and they'll have that for them. And that's so nice because I think most people are very visual. So, and they'll get as close as they can to some of the selections.
I think that's cool, just to have that other little peek of seeing what you want. I mean, I think building like Legos, I'm like, I don't know, maybe in the middle of a Lego thing, I'm like, well, actually, I don't like that. This is a big choice. And I go, that's how I would feel if I was to build a home.
To your point, though, on the color, like a lot of times I'll walk outside with the customers to get that natural light, and then you can come in here and we can dim the light, and you should go through that process.
It's such a weird color theory.
It's hard. It's so hard. You say, were you with a client right now for about, the house is going to be done in about 3 months, and then you got to get me a paint color. Please, over yellow. And she said, yeah, she's like, she had a board the other day, and she had 9 stain colors on it. I was like, which one do you like? Well,
Were they all the same, like, hue tone?
Yeah, to come off as a real guy, like, they all the same, but no, I was like,
Are they different?
yeah, right. Like, I'm gonna get my foot in my mouth. I was like, I think they all look fantastic, and it was the husband and the wife, and he's looking at me like, like I'm not getting in on this one. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I know better. I think that's probably one of the harder ones with a lot of the homeowners, but I think the other part is the process of building a house, as far as, hey, we get through framing, and then it's in a miracle, this magical moment. There's such a difference between a house that's framed and then a house that's sheetrocked. You ever walked into a house that's just framed and you're just like, oh my gosh, it feels weird, it's not big enough,
It always seems small.
sounds really small.
And just the depth of where the walls are going to be. Yep, I have none.
It throws everybody for a loop, and so there's always that short panic, like, oh my gosh, this isn't gonna work, and like, hey, let's get through drywall, and then just now you can start seeing the room.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
How often do you say trust the process?
Oh man. Yeah, and with that, to kind of segue just a tiny bit, the process we have, it's kind of a unique one, I think, is we have our home consultants on the very beginning, selecting everything, designing everything, really putting together that budget. Steve, my partner, with the operations team, we do this method, we call it building on the desk. So everything's already been pre-selected. They sit there and they put together all the budgets. So they're assigning it, hey, it's in Lewiston, that's going to get assigned to these local vendors, or it's going to get assigned to this person. So that way, by the time it gets to our construction team, I have Tori, he's my lead project manager, and then we have 6 superintendents, and they're all kind of regionally based. By the time it gets to them, they're just reading a playbook, because Steve and his team has already selected it all. But then, there's 4 superintendents, they're kind of showing up third quarter. Stephanie's like, hey, trust this process. Superintendent says, come in and trust this process. Like, oh no. And so that's where, again, we were very lucky to have Steph and our home consultants. Hey, resort back. Jeff's telling me this, Steph. I don't believe him. No, he's right. Okay, now we're gonna be. It's one big team, and there's so many hands that touch it.
Yeah.
Saying trust this process, and that thing that we said at the very beginning. It's a really, when you're designing a house, it's so hard for a homeowner to encompass every little detail. One of the
They don't even see hardly of the back end, no of it. They're seeing just the progress of the house.
yeah.
The back end work to be able to get it done. They never see that.
Well, if I can touch on that, we have a program, Builder Trend, which is pretty incredible. And I like to show all of our customers that. And so they're able to follow that. So they don't have to guess, like, what's going on? Hey, when does this happen? When does this happen? They get to see a schedule. So they see from this date to this date, you're framing. From this date to this date, your roof is going on. Here's where we're painting. Here's where you have an electrical trim. And so they can really follow along that way. And I think that gives our customers a sense of peace. I know it with me because I want to know what's going on right now. And we're in such a instant gratification. So we want to know what is going on around us, and especially with the biggest purchase of our life. So, and that's really nice to follow.
Yeah. And things that regulate weather. This time of year, with spring, I don't know, like down here, what snowed, hail today, sun,
A little bit of that.
but everything.
Wild red.
What's the, do you know, the temperature of like things where you're like, nope, we cannot work in this condition?
So down here in the valley, we love it because it's pretty much a year round. Versus those houses we have next to the Canadian border, you can imagine, again, totally different areas. And there's always good practices. Come wintertime, we want to make sure that if that hole is going to get dug for the house, we got to be right behind it with concrete blankets, making sure everything's insulated. So that way when we can follow up with a foundation crew, everything's getting repaired. Because part of that warranty we talked about, it's a lifetime structural warranty. Gotta make sure it's done right.
Lifetime.
Gotta make sure it's done right.
Yeah.
So we kind of be a little bit of a stickler. That homeowner says, hey, I'm ready to go today.
And you're like,
I'm like, cool. So what's your site like? Oh, I dug the hole 2 months ago and now it's filled with 1.5 feet of ice and snow. Like, sorry, can't do it. And at cold weather, building techniques, we have the concrete blankets and they're just thick insulated tarps. But we have a Thawzall is what it's called. I'll pull your tongue, but yeah, it's a big machine and it's got lots of glycol through it and basically it just heats the ground. So there's a lot of things you can do.
technology.
Yeah, right. You'll burn a lot of diesel and just see what happens. But it works really, really well. So again, we're very grateful to be building down here up north right now with road restrictions or just the bipolarness of the weather. It's raining, it's snowing, it's warm. There's just going to be delays.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. And I joke a lot, and this is I might regret even saying this analogy, but building a house is like having a kid. Okay, and you gotta hear me out on this one. I'm gonna take you out on a little bit.
I can't wait to hear.
And I just know this is the guy side. So here's, but you start talking about building a house. It's just like, hey, what's our life gonna be like when we have a kid? Oh my gosh, we're gonna have a kid someday. It's gonna be so exciting, and it's really fun to Pinterest it. It's really fun to think about all these things you're gonna do. And that's the front end of a house, is designing it, working with Steph. Hey, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be super fun. And then it's really slow once you get going, because we got to pour a foundation. We got to let it cure. We got to backfill. Right now, we got to get a lumber drop. Hey, you know what? The weather, the road restrictions are on. We can't do a lot. Whatever that ends up being.
Yeah.
So your first trimester, and again, I just watched it. My wife was terribly sick. I don't know. I don't know either. That was a pregnancy. It's that first trimester. Oh my gosh, nothing's happening, and I have nothing to show for it, and I'm just sick. Anxious. There's a lot. Yes. Second trimester. Oh my gosh, like you're past that morning sickness. The framing's done. We have this going. We have this going.
I'm showing.
I sponsored. I ate cookies, and I have a little of this. There's actually something happening. And then third trimester, you're like, I want to be done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I always share this analogy with people because I'm like, we're family for the next year of this pregnancy, of really bringing you this house. There's going to be times you're going to call me at midnight saying, oh my gosh, I panicked about this. I forgot about this electrical outlet that's going to be so important because I have this huge lighting display on the side of my house. And I'm like, it's 2 a.m. Do we need pickles and ice cream? And then, is this really the important?
Donuts in the morning.
Yeah.
I promise.
Is this really what we need to focus on? And there's going to be times where I'm like, you're being ridiculous and you're going to hang up on me. And then I'm going to call you later. I'm sorry. And we'll work through it. And but again, it's the process of it. And that's, I think, what's fun. And I think you need to remember that when you go into a home build. If I can encourage anybody, whoever does it, it's a unique thing. It's not instant gratification as far as buying an existing house. It's you get to touch it. It's part of you. It's your characteristics.
Yeah.
It truly is, just like having that kid. But we got to go through a little bit of pain, and it's going to be worth it at the end. And and that's, again, the homeowner. My favorite is you never ask a homeowner right when we're done, hey, can you give us a good Google review? You don't ever ask them that because you don't show up at mom at the hospital. Hey, hi.
The doctor as you're putting, I'm doing great, right?
Ready for another one? No, you show up 2-3 months later and they're like, I'm acclimated, you moved yes, we have everything. That's when you show up at that homeowner's house and say, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what was the first meal you cooked in here? Those types of things.
Yeah.
It's it's really, really gratifying. You get that homeowner, and we have some of them that you're gonna be lifelong friends with. Again, I'm going to compliment Stephanie. She's extremely good at creating those relationships with the homeowners, whether that was from the real estate background or just who she is. Turns out you're just really good at. You're just a really good person. That's what we're going to credit it to. But
thank you.
No, but you get those homeowners. Like I show up in Cholula, Washington, little Podunk city, way up north. If I go up there and I don't call Mohan Paul and tell him I'm coming, I might get a rock through there because he needs to cook me dinner. And that's just who he is. So it's really, really fun. It's really, really fun to be part of that. And then, there's some of them that you just see every now and then, or they call you when something's not working right. I know, flip the breaker. But anyway, we're here for it no matter what.
Everybody's story is so fun to follow, and their family, and I had a baby, and they'll send a picture of their nursery or of what they've done, and I love the cabinets, and it's very, very cool to follow.
I feel like buying, but just something that is really more that from the ground up. Yeah, brand new. So cool.
And to even go the next step, being part of that, Stephanie's been working with this gal. We're at her home burn now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And those are always the hardest ones because somebody comes in normally and says, hey, I want to build a custom house. Okay, I get it. But then you have that person who's, I need to build a house. And that's a very different one. And your heart is just like, how do we help?
And this poor woman, she was desperate because
house, didn't she not own it already? Not that long?
No, she didn't own it that long. And she was out of town, and the Gwen fire came through, and she lost her home. And then she had found her plan. She had talked to a builder. They were going to do it. And this builder ghosted her after a year. And she's living on site. She's in a camper. She's making it work, but it's not ideal. And when I finally talked to her, she was pretty desperate. And we were able to get out there the next day. And she's been fantastic to work with, and we're building exactly what she wants. And it has been, we're actually getting ready to pour foundation on that one right now.
I say, yeah.
In just a few months,
Just chatting with her, the interactions I have with her.
Yeah.
She's great. Wild story. That's a good thing that you brought that up. It's something that I'm right in the back of my mind. I never have questions kind of lined out. I always want to go natural, but the whole vetting of builders and construction people and the trades are huge. So many people getting like that. Oh, they just walked out on me. Oh, I took my money. You guys, knowing where business and that Evergreen has had with you guys, we know your processes. You've been vetted. How many times have you came across that where you're picking up other builders or other people's?
We were just talking about that.
We just had that discussion today.
No, really.
We had a client, one of our home consultants up north in Sandpoint, in that office. She'd sent me a list of clients she was working with, and she had 2 in the last year who had left to go. There was a different builder that was more affordable, she's like, hey, we're gonna go with them, and both of which came back and said, hey, I'm out $100,000 and I got nothing to show for it. And so, can you guys help us?
Can you imagine? Devastating.
So, it's my show, so I'm gonna keep tooting our horn, if that's all right. There's a couple of unique things that we do, and I'm really, really proud of them. One of them is homeowner comes in today. Let's say we met with a client here right before we got together, and gave them a price on the house and said, here's where we're at, foundation to finish. And say, for example, that homeowner moves forward over the next few months between engineering, permitting, and pours their foundation. The day their foundation is poured, we lock their price. I mean, you know that on the lending side.
Yep.
And what a cool thing to be able to say that to a homeowner, especially in the climate that we're in as far as interest rates or materials. Yeah.
Yes.
Tile. That homeowner comes in and says, hey, my foundation is poured, price is locked. They don't have to think about it. So that's a really cool thing that I love with our homeowners. And then with our subcontractor base, the part that we are proud of, and then I get to toot my horn with them, is saying we pay every week. So I go ahead and find a new subcontractor down here in the valley, and if they're like, how is this going to work? How do I get paid? That Builder Trend software, not only does the homeowner seeing that as far as scheduling, but those scheduled items, whether it's drywall or whether it's roofing, they're assigned to a vendor or a supplier or a subcontractor. They perform that, so they get the PO on that schedule, and then they perform it, they upload their invoice there. We send a check out on Friday. And so we're really, really proud of that, saying, hey, the homeowner, I'm going to vet you. We're going to work with our lenders and make sure you're qualified. Or if you're cash, we're going to have a certain draw schedule, because I'm not going to go ahead and shortchange the drywall or the electrician. No, it's their money. They're performing the work. We are just the general on this. So those are 2 things that from the homeowner side we're really proud of, but then also for everybody else that we work with.
Yeah.
And
You just see these national stories of like builders. Well, there's one, what is it? Down south. That a few were the one.
We had one here. That was your one here. Yeah. I want to say maybe right before I went into real estate, I remember there was a builder here who collected a bunch of money, skipped town. And yeah, it was a pretty big deal here. And just, I'm sure he was, probably not his original intention, maybe mismanagement of the company and business, but yeah.
Was just to have your house though. Giving them all this for your dream and poof. No. Or that one was the one I was thinking was it was almost finished, or it was a finished house and then some guy bulldozed.
oh, the one if they're near house ball.
Oh my God.
He was just us.
That was recent.
Yeah, that was a few months ago.
It was like the news.
That was exciting.
Oh my God.
Bulldozer right through it. Yeah.
What Murphy's Law, right? What can happen? Oh man.
Yeah.
Nope. So not really how to practice.
No.
But vetting, I feel like, I guess a lot of the time if I do have clients that like are, hey, we want to build general contractor, right? I'm like, well, we need to see that they've already done work. And then they're like, oh, well, I just got my general contractor's license this month. And I'm like,
and I have you too.
Yeah.
second.
Professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we want to vet. We want to make sure that this is where your money is going, is to know that the outcome is successful.
I was say, as you were vetting me for my credit and everything, that's where you had Royce. That's where you got that Rolls Royce. I see what happened. What's on?
Just your LinkedIn.
Well, that's one of the days. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, it is part of it. With every lender we work with, it's always it's a relationship with lenders too. We get so many people saying, "Hey, I want to use this lender," and you want to be accommodating as the builder, I just want to build houses. At the end of the day, I really do. I don't want to play politics. I don't want to say, oh, I don't like that person. But
it goes back to the experience of our customers. Like, we have to make sure that they're getting a good experience with their lender too.
yeah,
We need to be able to close this deal for them and let them move on.
Very smooth communication. Oh gosh, I thought communication for just building or home buying building is even more.
building. Yeah. How many times? Yeah, we send you a project. It's like, okay, do we have this? Do we have this? Do we have this? Jane, yes. James is our company controller.
James, what a bit.
Yes, I don't actually do it. I have to fill out your applications, but other than that,
Yeah, that's true.
that's all on me.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's funny.
You have to send in the blood sample. We'll take over from there.
I do. No. Yeah,
That's awesome. Is there, I think, for Stephanie, right? Specs, that you kind of had mentioned having that. Is that something that you think here in town it will be able to have or produce?
Stephanie is gonna love the answer to this one. So yeah, the normal business model again. When I say we finished 66 homes last year, those were all custom houses. We've never historically done that.
Okay.
And it always comes down to what is the market bear. Down here, Stephanie day one said, hey, would you do some specs? Would you do it? And I said, no. And not that I wanted to be defiant and admit that Stephanie was right, she was, but it's I'm a huge advocate and believer of stay in your lane. And if I've learned a lot of different things, I'm really good at doing the custom homes. I'm really good at finishing these out, and we have a good process for all of those. And with all that, we've never been leveraged. We've never had to have a loan. Like, how awesome is that as a builder? Hey, I never start a project unless it's funded or if we have money up front. So it's a really, really gratifying thing to say, if the economy shuts down tomorrow, like, we're not in a scary position.
Yeah.
And I've always liked that and I felt comfortable with it. However, down here, what we've found, again, people just need a house and they need it now. And Stephanie said, day one, will you do it? Will you do it? I said, no, we've never done it. We don't need to. But that is something Stephanie's working on, that subdivision down in Southern right now. And we already got our name on it.
I was like, did you say no? Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, she didn't say no on that, so Stephanie's gonna do it. Yeah, so Stephanie's building at the subdivision right now. She's playing a developer, and then I said, okay, I will go ahead and build our house on it, and let's see what happens. But I think the market down here definitely needs it. People just they need a house and they need it now, and being able to float that for 7 months, that pregnancy, it just doesn't work. They just need the home and need a turkey.
Yeah.
Well, and down here, we can build a house for the same amount or less than maybe in a fixer-upper. And so I just see, there's a lot of local builders who do specs, and they do so. And I see that need down here. And some people, they don't want to wait. They don't want to go through the process, even a streamlined process like what we have, that we do really try to make easier and a bit faster without people tripping over each other. It's still, they want that turnkey product. So
Instant occasions, you said, or two.
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, and then from the lending point, that
Yeah.
a lot of families, especially with young kids, they're like, okay, so if we sell our house tomorrow and we don't have our house built for 9 months, what are we doing in the interim? And so you close that gap too.
Oh yeah. I feel like seasonal too, like spring to spring, weather, summer. I feel like a lot of families are like, if there's something that we're doing it in the summer.
Yeah.
Because school activities. Do you feel like that uptick in production?
So there's two sides of that coin.
Okay.
The sales side, our busiest time of year for sales is going to be from that January till April, May. That's the busiest time. And then it slows down for sales. And then it picks back up October, November, December. And then, kind of rises out. So it's just this But construction is the opposite,
Yeah.
as you can imagine. And
Cool.
yeah, and it's always really funny. Like right now, you're right. The sun is shining. People are like, oh, I really want to get going on that. That homeowner today that we met with, he's like, "Crud, I should have came in 3 months ago if I wanted to get on that summer build."
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm kind of kicking myself. He's like, I knew we were gonna do it, but we just didn't yet.
Yeah.
Because there is a certain, there's the planning, the pre-construction, and the construction, the red tape, that pre-construction, going through engineering, going through permitting, going through planning. Gosh, those letters take forever. Oh, whatever that ends up being, like, hey, there is this time
Yeah.
that has to happen. And so, yeah, to kind of long-windedly answer your question, it's the opposite. Sales is getting busy right now. Road restrictions are in place, so not a lot of construction. We've got a lot coming here, ready to go. But
It's a perfect planning time.
yeah, so it's
That's what you would give for your opinion if you were to. You got someone else like, well, I want to start, but I don't know when. When are
If there's somebody who's been in a family that's been in last year and they're just testing the waters or through the new year, I will try and give the effort and be like, hey, I know you're wanting to be in a house this year now. Like, we need to have planned this right now. And I'm not trying to rush you, but I'm trying to be honest with you. And, time flies and days go by. And so just kind of reminding them, come in. Because if you want to do this, we got to get going right now. So
delays are going to happen with everything. Yeah, if you can tell a homeowner, like, hey, when do you want to start? Okay, think back 5-6 months.
Yeah.
Just please, like, if nothing else, try and do that. That's
realistic?
that is that ideal customer. Again, you get that homeowner like, I'm ready to start right now. I'm like, cool. 2-3 months is best case, worst case 6. But then you still have just things that come up county, like on your properties. Hey, guess what? We need this. I am a product of the product. I'm trying to build my house right now. I have been waiting almost 1.5 years for a permit because we found out there was a wetland at a corner of the property, not even a couple,
Even near your middle.
not even close to it. But there's just things that happen
Oh my god.
that there was never on any. I'm the builder. I'm like, hey, I know I'm gonna do my feasibility, my due diligence. There's no wetland. There's no protected ground squirrels or anything goofy that permits you from getting you a permit. But turns out there is. So you never know. So working through that, and so that homeowner who comes in and says, hey, I'm looking at building again. But the cool thing we'll do is, let's go find you that piece of property. Okay, before you buy that piece of property, let's slow down and do a feasibility. You don't buy an existing house without doing an inspection.
Yeah.
Always. Hey, here's my offer on the property contingent on a feasibility. Let's see, can we build on it? I think there's water at the road. Is the city going to grant me, a hookup to it? Or if not, what do I have to do? Hey, I want to get power. Oh, I should be able to go through that farmer's field. Turns out, no. So instead of it being 5,000, it's 10,000 to hook up. No, it's going to be 50,000. These are real stories that I'm kind of pulling in my head. Pocket squirrels. They're like, it's a ground squirrel. That is a protected thing that you can't hunt. Those dots. Like, it's a weird little rodent, and you can't build on certain areas without having. Like, these are real things. Or the homeowner of North, again, she bought this piece of property. The farmer had subdivided a lot. He didn't tell her that he wouldn't give her an easement to get in the tower. So it should have been $10,000. It was $45,000. And so these are all those real things. So hey, again, another piece of advice to that homeowner: if you want to start within, this date, think 6 months back. If you're looking to buy that piece of property, call us. We come out and do free site evaluations with everybody. Just call us. Even if you don't build with me as a human, like, let me just save you some heartache on some of this. We have a little document we put together years ago, but it's a general feasibility study. If you can go through that and say, check. Oh wait, I don't know the answer to that. Oh yeah, great. If you think of somebody in the future, like, oh, I didn't build with Lexar, but they saved my butt. That's great. I will sleep better at night.
Yes.
Yeah, just try and help. So that's another one of those like little tidbits for home builders.
No one thinks.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so sorry you're dealing with that though on your own.
It's all good. No, hey, it's gonna work. My kids are having a ball out there right now. You don't need a permit for a treehouse. So there you guys. All right, we're having fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we'll get to it.
Yeah. Well, I think, right, like building, I'm trying to tie in with the building association.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Fun time right there. That of me and you are on the board for that.
Yeah.
The whole backing right of Royce from you saying, I want to do this. We need to do this.
He's been incredible. I'm going to pat him on the back, and not just with me and supporting me being a part of this, but also Karen. So Karen also works for us, and she worked for the NIBCA up north. And so she has been an asset, as you know, to the board and helping with the Parade of Homes and her expertise. And so Royce, I mean, she's a paid employee of ours as well.
Yeah.
And so she is able to come down here and help us and get our foundation with that. And it's been a learning experience, but so much good.
Yeah. Well needed.
No, it's very needed.
Now that I've really been into the side of things and hearing other counties and hearing other areas that are struggling with certain things that we also struggle with too, and that we will eventually even get more struggle with, right? However, behind times.
Sure.
We're a unique market with, and I was going to touch on this earlier. Sorry to cut you off, but I'm very proud of our area right now. With it being behind the times, I feel like the next generation of people are stepping up, and they are doing the developing. They are sitting in the seats. They are having a say in how the economy here goes, the growth here goes. And that's something pretty cool to watch. And I think the association will work with that very closely.
100%.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, just you seeing the other areas. I actually was in Donnelly. You have a little office in.
Oh, yeah. There's.
It's yeah. What are the other franchises? Yeah.
That's who we're going to have to fight with over Whitebird, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's okay.
I have Brian's number. He's a big. I love it.
But I just, with the building association, what do you feel like with the other areas? How has it tied into your business of the benefit of having an association?
I won't share how much we spend every year on these things, but because sometimes you're just like, wow, oh boy. But one of the being the builder for the masses is one of those little things that, again, as a personal goal, and the community builder. Invest in the community, and then it comes back full circle. I truly believe that. That's why instead of saying, hey, we're going to sell everything out of Spokane, no, let's put a brick and mortar store in these locations. Let's be part of it. How many charity events have we been part of this year already? It's only March.
Yeah. Bryson's a week ago.
Yeah.
We really want to be.
You got to be ingrained in it, and we have the home show coming up. You got to be a face so you get that recognition, and just saying, oh, they're here. We're going to be part of it. Yes, I know I'm not a local LCB Valley person, but gosh, I truly mean that we care. I want to help people have that home. I feel great. And Stephanie's like, hey, I want to get back to this charity organization. Great, go for it. Mm-hmm. Here's our budget for every single thing, and let's do it. So we've been part of, I think there's 9 associations that we're part of.
All throughout.
That's just.
Or is that?
That's
2.
Spokane. Well, there's only 2 in Spokane. The rest are Idaho.
Got it.
That we're part of, and then with that, I think we frequent probably 8 to 11 home shows, fairs. Anything. Career days. We do a lot of those. Where the tech schools, their trade schools, being part of those, trying to give back to those, because. Again, I went the route. I went and got a degree, and I used it for a whole of a year and a half. But gosh, there's so many good opportunities for people to make a great living and to be part of the community and good contributing member of society outside of the conventional, hey, I got to go to college and I got to get this degree. No, there's so many other ways to do it. And so I feel really good about giving back to those. A side note, and this was a funny one, one of the things we were doing it was our goal in 23, hey, for every house, there was a $500 kickback to the community saying, hey, homeowner, what do you want to do? And this one in particular, he's like, oh, I live in Lakeland School District. Can you go get $500 to the school? Okay, yeah, you know this. So I showed up, or I called and said, hey, we have $500. I'd love to give it to you guys. And it's going to be a little PR thing. Can we just take a quick picture? And I showed up, was shaking the principal's hand, and he's like, hey, can I introduce you to the athletic director? I was like, okay, yeah, sure. We'll give it to the athletic director. Great. His name's Matt. Matt comes out. I was like, keep your money. Would you guys help us manage a boys and girls soccer bathroom / concession stand? It's like, yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, we're a GC. That's not a big deal. We'll do that. And I'm like, what do you have so far? Like, what's your plan? Oh, we got everything donated. We got all these members of the area involved, and they're going to all help contribute. I'm like, sweet. Send me the list. Yeah, let's do it. And this is me going back to Steve later. I'm like, hey, Steve, guess what? We're going to help build a bathroom. It's going to be so cool. We're going to, help the community. Matt sending me a list of 2 things. And I was like, oh no, what have we done? So this $500 turns into significantly more. But what was really, really fun is we called on the NIBCA, the Post-Fall Chambers, the Coeur d'Alene Chambers, Spokane even, and just said, hey, who's willing to donate or who knows somebody? And so that was really, really gratifying to see all these members of the community. Like, hey, again, we pitched in more than I was planning. However, a lot of people put in their blood and sweat on this thing. Mm-hmm. We had a couple excavators who were like, hey, I got time. I'm going to go ahead and just drop my equipment there. I'll go ahead and clear it out. We called one of our masonry guys, said, hey, Ruben, would you mind helping out? And he's like, yeah, I'll just charge you for materials. Okay, well then let's call these associations. Can you help pay for the materials? So it was really, really cool and really, really gratifying to see that. So when you ask what do you see from it? Well, first, it's fun to be part of the community, fun to give back to that. I mean, again, I was the high schooler, and you didn't realize how little those education systems have. And so to be able to give back in any way is really fun. But it's really cool. Everybody's from a different walk of life. Everybody's from a different, hey, I'm this builder at Lexar, but next thing you know, you have 2 other builders that are competitors. We're all chipping in because there's enough work out there. There's enough to go around, and we all just want to get back one way or another. Yeah. So that's long-winded saying why we're part of it.
And we see the benefit, right? It's just long-winded going, but it's going. Mm-hmm. And to hopefully see in the years to come just the growth. I'm excited. No, I think we need it. It's part of something that we need to support our builders. We want to have everyone say, this is a team effort. Third-party vendors, we all collaborate for one project. Yeah. And we all need backing, support.
It's a good way to power in numbers, get the voices heard for changes that need to be made. But then, you also have on the back end of truly getting your name out there is through, say, the Parade of Homes. And what did we have? 8 homes on the first year since the 90s, and 200 people come through. That's incredible. Beautiful. That was 7 different builders that people got to come through, and they got to see our work and decide what was best for them. And yeah, I think there's so many different avenues within the association that are helpful.
I can't wait to see them all. Mm-hmm. I think Parade of Homes is right next year. Well, we're already getting going on it. Do you already have a house lined out?
I have a house I would like. I have all the dreams. Yeah,
the ideas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not one. Yes. Yes. What if?
It's like the popular trend right now is yes, we can make it happen, and then it zooms in on Royce. This is no, I'm the one that's gonna make it happen.
Yeah. Again, you give all the credit to me. I am here. I want to say this the right way too. Yeah, we're just paying for it. But Stephanie's actually feet on the ground. Her and Karen are business relations, public relations. I couldn't do it without either of them, and that's why. Yeah, I'm in a million different places, as you know.
Yeah.
Lewiston today, Sandpoint tomorrow. Tri-Cities was last week. We're always moving and always going, but so that's again having those local members and local face helps dramatically. It's like,
For sure.
here's your project, go have fun. Let's make it happen. So
It's music to my ears.
I just show up for the parties. That's really what I'm there for. It's a lot of fun.
I feel like time flies. I could probably keep filling your guys' year with more questions, but I would love to just maybe end on this note that I appreciate that everything that you guys have done, the business, the growth, you bringing it here, Stephanie's ideas and life through it all. I really want to thank you all so for coming on here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much. Yeah,
It's a big benefit for me. I love it. I'm like, oh, and the more people that I get to know, the more people that I get to touch in conversation is huge. Then it's like, right, word of mouth. What builders do you know? I want to build. And like, guess what? I've talked to these people, and just more relationships.
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh.
We appreciate our relationship with you. You've been great to work with. And yeah.
More now.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, it's on. But yeah, that's all y'all. I appreciate it.
Excuse me.
No, yeah.